Hey everybody, it's Metalwargod here, and I have a semi-big video mail update, and I've gotten some stuff over the last probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. Some of it I have opened, and some of it I have not opened. I got today, and anyway, it's a mixed bag. CDs and vinyl. For some reason, been getting a lot more CDs lately, just because I cannot get it on vinyl, so therefore I am picking up the CD versions. Hopefully these artists will put these out on vinyl. But anyway, some of these I'll start off with is, I just got, let's see here, we'll go with, we'll start with these first. These I got, this one I got from No Life Till Metal Records. Of course, I did this on a What's Banging Your Head series just a little bit ago, and I'm talking about Primal and their self-titled release. What a great CD this is. Has elements of new wave of British heavy metal, some thrash, some straightforward heavy metal. Just a great CD from Primal. Of course, it has Glenn Rogers on guitar. But if you're looking for some really good releases this year, definitely check out Primal. Up next, a band out of Seattle, their second release, and I think it borders on heavy metal, hard rock. Some songs could be metal, some songs are hard rock, but talking about Seattle's Substratum and Mission to Rock has 10 tracks. They are on Dive Bomb Records, and this is a new release. Like again, just straightforward metal hard rock, female vocalist. Good stuff if you're into female fronted metal. I usually like to. Anyway, there's the inside. But again, straightforward heavy metal, hard rock from Substratum. Up next, I got this because of Scott Waters. Again, I showed this in my What's Been Banging in My Head series that I just started to do again after I think it must have been a year and a half. I haven't done anything, but this is one of the CDs he showed in his segment, and I really loved what I heard, and I immediately went out and picked this one up along with the Substratum and the next band I'll show you. And I'm talking about Old Wolf and Faustian Mass. And the Bang in My Head series, I think I mentioned it as Old Season twice and then Old Wolf twice. It is Old Wolf. Straightforward new wave of British heavy metal. These guys are out of Somerset, Wisconsin. Also on the Dive Bomb record label. To me, some standout tracks on this are Beyond the Void, Executioner's Hymn, Faustian Mass, The Wisdom of the Black Flame. But just some straightforward heavy metal new wave style. There you go, Old Wolf. A new release. And then this is also, I ordered this, so I ordered 3 from Dive Bomb. And again, this was on my What's Banging in My Head series here just a little bit ago. This is a band called First Strike and Deadly Voltage. These guys are more thrashy in nature. They kind of have an early Metallica feel to them. They only put out 2 albums, this one and Agony Pit. This is part of the Dive Bomb Boot Camp series. And this one came out in 2013. This was originally released in 1992. But this one has also, I do believe, tracks from Agony Pit, if I'm not mistaken. But good thrash in the Metallica vein. Good stuff. These I got yesterday. And these guys I interviewed on my Metal Uprising show a couple of years ago. And I do believe this is their third release. The band is out of Utah. And I'm talking about Sonic Prophecy and Savage Gods. They play a progressive power metal. Very good. Probably going to be one of my top 25 releases of 2018. But the vocalist is Shane at Coast Guard. But definitely some good progressive power metal. This was just released here, I believe, about a week ago. And if you have not heard Sonic Prophecy, definitely go check out some samples because I know you'll love these guys. And this also came yesterday. This is their first full length. They have an EP. These guys are out of, I believe, Los Angeles, California. When I'm talking about Salem's Lot and their album Mask of Morality. They kind of border on the heavy metal, glam, sleaze line there. If you look at their photos in the back here, you probably would think they're Japanese, but they are not. They are from Los Angeles, California. This is their first full length. They do have, I believe it is a 7-song, 8-song EP before this that is really good. I came across these guys a couple years ago through Facebook and immediately fell in love with these guys and bought their EP, and this is their second. And these guys, hopefully they'll go far, but check them out. Like I say, they're bordering on the heavy metal, glam, sleaze line there, but still very good band. Check them out. Monroe Black on vocals, very good. And then this came from Napalm Records. I have not heard this yet. I love this genre style of metal. I'm referring to pirate metal. And the album, or the band Rumahoy, they are based out of, I believe, South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And their album, The Triumph of Piracy, their first release. This is on Napalm Records, and very good stuff here. If you like pirate metal, this band, Running Wild, probably the originators of that style of metal, referred to as pirate metal. Then you got Silver Bones, you have Blazing Stone, you got Hailstorm. There are a number of other bands that are doing this style of heavy metal, but I liked what I heard off of this, and I picked it up. Anyway, here is Rumahoy with The Triumph of Piracy. And this also is a 2018 release, so check it out. Now, up are some vinyls that I've been really getting into. These are relatively new. And first up, I actually want to go to let's see here if I can find it. There it is. With that Rumahoy, I also ordered, this is my first, well, I do believe I have a CD from these guys, but I believe this is the first album they put out. And they've been around 10 years, and I'm talking about Hailstorm. And Captain Morgan's Revenge, again, another pirate metal band. Again, this came out 10 years ago already, 10th anniversary. And this is on green vinyl. I just got this, so I haven't had a chance to hear it. Hopefully I will this weekend. But here's some more pirate metal from Hailstorm. Okay, now these I've gotten within the last week. And first up, I was over at YouTube. And I'm over there quite a bit looking for, I'm subscribed to a lot of channels that post full-length albums on their YouTube site. And some of these are what I look for and look at while I'm over there. And this band, I knew of this band. I knew what they were about, but I really didn't give them a chance. But I finally did. and I'm talking about Thunder Mother and their album Road Fever. These guys, or this band, is out of Sweden. This is an all-female band. Of course, this is on green vinyl, and they definitely lean towards the AC/DC vibe, but they do it very well. Definitely very catchy songs, great lyrics, great vocals. To me, I think I just refer to them as a boogie rock band out of Sweden, and they're very good. This is, I believe, their first release. They have 3 releases out. They just released a new one. I ordered the second one, and of course Amazon made a mistake. They sent the CD. I ordered the vinyls, and of course I got a hold of Amazon, and I wanted it resent. They sent the CD again, so I just sent them both back, and then I was going to reorder the album, and they were out of stock. So anyway, I have 2 of them, but here is Thunder Mother with Road Fever. And now this one is a brand new release, just came out. This definitely has a huge lineup change in it. 4 members left, except the vocalist. Now the style still stayed the same, but their leanings toward AC/DC kind of are not as apparent in this one, I don't think, as the previous 2. I think they've kind of matured as a band. They've kind of went to their own style, but they still have that gritty AC/DC vibe about them. And I'm talking about their latest release, just called Thunder Mother. And I gotta say, this is a great hard rock boogie album. I mean, from the females. And like I say, they're out of Sweden. Very good, very, very good album. Definitely give them a chance. Some of the songs that really grab me are Whatever, Fire in the Rain, Rip Your Heart Out, We Fight for Rock and Roll, and Children on Rampage. But anyway, this is a self-titled 2018 release on Deposits Records. Very good album. Check them out. And this is a Discogs by a band out of the UK that were pretty active in the 70s, and 5-piece, and I'm talking about the band Nuts and their album called Hard Nuts. And they play that hard and heavy blues rock, and they do have a little progressive touchings on some of their songs. For instance, Down on My Knees and Sick and Tired, but very good band. One of the radio songs I know is Seeing is Believing. When I put this on, I definitely remembered this. But the album is very good. Of course, this is a promo. Again, this is a bluesy hard rock with some progressive elements involved into this, but still a great album with Nuts. What we're listening to in the background is a band called Toxic Rose. Kind of a sleazy hard rock band. I believe these guys are out of Finland, but very good band. Check them out. Up next, this is an album that completes all the vinyls from this Pittsburgh, PA female fronted band. I interviewed the vocalist 2 weeks ago on my show, or was it last week? It was last week. And anyway, this is their first release. I was actually lucky they still had this, so I picked it up, and I'm talking about Lady Beast and their self-titled release. It's on Cobra Cabana Records. This is more of a green, black, I don't know, kind of a splotchy album. Definitely a very raw sounding, very traditional or a new wave of British heavy metal stylings. Definitely very raw sounding. For a first album, they did actually a very good job. And but they have 4 albums out. This is their self-titled release. Deborah Levine is on vocals. Very good band. They play basically in the Pittsburgh, PA, Ohio, Indiana area, but definitely check them out. Lady Beast. Up next, this I got from Stormspell, and I don't think I showed this. I was looking back on past mail videos, and I don't think I showed this, but this is a theme that I first started off the video with some pirate metal. And this was posted on Facebook that there were only 15 copies of the blue vinyl left of this album. And I immediately went over to the Stormspell site and I picked it up. I'm talking about Blazing Stone and Down in the Dark. Pirate metal on the Stormspell label. I believe I have two of their other albums on vinyl. I believe this is their 4th release. This, of course, is on blue vinyl. And very good pirate metal. They do it very well. And I think this band was the second coming, I believe, or Ailstorm was actually the second coming of the pirate metal resurgence. And I think these guys, kind of do it just a little bit better. But I still like all the other bands that are doing this. And anyway, here is Blazing Stone with Down in the Dark. Like I say, blue vinyl is out. I think you can get black yet. And then I did an interview with Night Demon and Jarvis Leatherby, and we were talking a little bit about. They're from Tarzana, California, and through the interview, we're talking about a band that was also from the same town, and Night Demon and this band are there are members, a member that is in this band. And I showed another album before this, and I'm talking about the band Gygax, and this one is called Critical Hits. This is their first release, and God, I'm trying to think of the band one of these members was in. I just can't think of it. But anyway, Gygax, and this very good album. Well, this one, I haven't heard this one yet. Probably tomorrow, but definitely have that old traditional heavy metal sound. If you like Night Demon, you definitely will like Gygax. Very good stuff. And then also I was over on Facebook actually, and there's a lot of videos posted about, and these bands post videos that they do. I knew of the band, but I really never heard a lot of their music. But there was a video posted, and the album, or the song was To Hell or the Hangman, I believe. And I believe this is their ninth album. And I'm talking about Irish band Primordial and their album Evil Amongst the Ruins. Of course, this is on Napalm Records as well. But very good stuff from what I hear. Kind of maybe a little atmospheric as times. They got the heavy metal vibe going on the old school way. But I just got this as well, so I haven't had a chance. But from what I've heard, I'm really liking this album. And glad I picked this up. This is a gatefold. And it is on Dead Gold Marbled Vinyl. And I got the number 141 of 300. So there aren't a lot of these out there. Anyway, there is Primordial. And then I pre-ordered these. I'm going to get the other one. I should have got all three at once, but I did not. This is through Retroactive Records, and it was distributed by Boone's Overstock. And I believe Scott Waters redid a lot of the artwork on this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, layout and design by Scott Waters. And I'm talking about Seventh Angel and The Torment, originally released in 1990 and re-released just within the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure if this is their first one or second one. There's 3 albums that have been redone, but I picked up 2 of them, and I had to do it. I had to pull the trigger on these. They're definitely got a thrash band. They got maybe a little death vibe going on in the vocals at times, but not too overly growly. But anyway, here's the first one I got, which was Seventh Angel and Torment. And let's see here, I'm trying to think. Anyway, Retroactive Records, got it through Boone's Overstock. And then the second one I got when I pre-ordered this was also Seventh Angel and Lament for the Weary. This is released in 1991. Okay, I believe this the Torment was the first. This is their second, and they got one that was a little bit later, which was their third, as far as I know. This is a gatefold, double gatefold album, and great art, great cover art on these. Really looking forward to getting into listening to these here within the next week or so. But anyway, here is the second one from Seventh Angel, and I can't remember what the third one is named. I was going to order it the other day, but I did not. I had to wait a little bit. But anyway, here's Seventh Angel. And then I got a couple packages today. And I got a bunch of stuff ordered. I got some stuff coming from Shadow Kingdom. I got some pre-order stuff coming. Waiting on stuff that I pre-ordered about 2 months ago that has not. It should be released, I believe, in May. But anyway, here is a CD I got from deepdiscount.com. This was actually got here really fast. And I wanted to really get into this stuff here. I heard a couple tracks. I did not have this. Would like to gotten this on vinyl, but the vinyl is very pricey. And I'm talking about Dry Sill and Welcome to the Show. Mid-80s metal band. This was re-released in 2015. Excuse me, through Metalwargod Records. And from what I heard, I really loved, and so I'm glad I picked this up. And then I got a couple of albums. I do believe I know what. I think I know what both of these are. I think one was a pre-order, one was a Discogs buy. But this is the packaging this came in. I mean, sometimes you get really people who don't know how to package stuff, but at least none of the quarters were bent or dinged up. Anyway, I ordered this on Discogs as well. This is the third in a line of albums I got from this band. And again, this is Nuts, their self-titled album. From, let's see, this was released in wrong record sleeve. This is a demo. God, I don't even know. Let me look at the vinyl. It better be what I ordered. Well, it is anyway. 74. Anyway, it is the white chromo label. The album vinyl got a few little dings in there. Dusty, clean up. Hopefully, it'll play good. But I'll definitely be changing the inner sleeve out to a polyline sleeve. And like I say, this came out in 74. So you're seeing Hard Nuts by Nuts, and this is Nuts self-titled, and then there's Nuts Live, which is very good album, very good live album. But again, bluesy hard rock of the 70s. If you've never really ventured, this was a 4-piece when they first started. If you've never really ventured into picking any of this stuff up, go over to YouTube and check it out, or they do have a Facebook site. But great bluesy hard rock from Nuts out of the UK. And the last one here. Not exactly sure what this one is. Well, we're going to find out here. I think I know. All right. Wow, this got here fast. Now this band was out of Buffalo, New York, and this album was released in 1969. And the album has got a lot of wear. It's taped on the bottom here, and a little tape on the sides, but as far as any other damage, it's not bad though. I'll take it for how old it is. Maybe I'll hopefully find an upgraded copy somewhere. But I'm talking about the band Raven. This album was released in 1969, and it is a bluesy psych album. Of course, it is on. Wow, the vinyl's in really good shape, so that's a plus. It's on the Red Columbia label, so I'm happy about that. But what I was going to add to this Raven, there are 2 other Raven bands. Of course, I believe this is the first Raven from 1969. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the only album that these guys put out. Again, they're out of Buffalo, New York. And then the second Raven, which I showed in a previous metal update, they were out of, I believe they were out of New Jersey. And they are more progressive rock in nature, or 70s progressive rock. Then, of course, you got the heavy metal Raven, which came out of England in the 80s, might be late 70s, early 80s, and everybody is familiar with that Raven, more so than the 2 Ravens I had mentioned. But anyway, this is Raven. I've wanted this album, and it's this picture. While it may be familiar to some, it is in a show on, I believe it's TNT, that one of the characters sees in her past. I can't think of the show right offhand, but I think it's in their 4th season. But anyway, oh, come on, get in there. Let's see. Anyway, I'll get that in later. But anyway, well, guys, that is all I have for this update. And check it out next time. And you look forward to the next video on